Hello everybody and welcome to what'll be my first full product review. These are a set of products that I have purchased with my own money a little while ago before I started the channel, so there won't be a mailbag video or anything. If you're looking for that, you won't find it. Let me just take off my Apple Watch. So what it is this assortment of goodies. This is the unfocusing camera, please. Orange RX Open LRS 433 MHz 1 watt module for Futaba radios, and this is the 8-channel Open LRS Orange RX receiver, of which I have two. One of them does have some bent pins, which I believe was due to the accident, which we'll mention shortly. And this. So what I tested this on, I tested it on my Futaba 10 radio, not the 10J, the T10 CP or whatever it is. On the end of it, I had an IB Crazy notch filter, the blue cable type instead of the sort of greenish circuit board type, and a diamond long-range antenna. And on this, I bought some, I think from Flytron or somewhere, just a 90-degree antenna. I first tested these in a little HobbyKing yak just to make sure they worked, because I'm not bothered if that hits the floor from lockout. And I then put it into the ready-made RC Anaconda with an FY41 AP flight controller, similar to one you can get in this box. Sadly, there isn't one in there. I'd love another one. That's one of my last ones came in. So yeah, this thing. So tested it on the HobbyKing Yak 55 foamy, absolutely fine. Stuck it in the Anaconda. As what I'd probably say, the reason why I bought this. Let's start with that first, shall we? The reason I bought this is at the time. Everyone who flew with us at that time, FPV, used 35 megs still. Everyone, of course, is on 2.4, but with 35 megs, you have a standard 1 meter antenna coming out the back of your receiver. If you solder another wire onto there, another meter, you effectively almost double your range. And some people were running up to 8 meters behind. We usually had 4 meters in total, and then a little extra bit on the end just to tune it to the right frequency. So that's what we were running at the time, and I wanted, because 35 megs obviously glitches, which means you couldn't really run above 3 cell. You could run 4 but not up to 6, for example, because there was a plane I wanted to run 6S on, and glitches, and because it was old, you know, say you pick up a 9-channel 35 meg receiver on eBay or the BMFA nice and cheap, you don't know what case it's been in, whereas this stuff I could buy new. So I had the Easy UHF system, which I still use and absolutely love. That's my recommended system. But I bought this for the cheap stuff, for things like my Bixler. An example was what it was going to be going in and things like that. Sort of the cheap, closer in stuff, you know, the less complicated stuff for darting through trees and such like. So I bought this for that. Now, as I say, I tested this on my HobbyKing Yak 55 little foamy thing. I then put it in the Anaconda for its first flight. Flew. And I'm not sure if we then came a second day. I'm not sure if we flew it once and there was issues, so we took it home, fixed them and came back, or if this was on the actual first flight day. I flew it around a few times, landed it to change some settings on the FY41, and it touched down, it bounced, and as it hit the ground the second time, the throttle started up, and it went into return to launch, rolled on its side, and slammed into a dry stone wall. This had lost connection and gone to failsafe. Now, after seeing this system and showing how cheap it was, a friend of mine also purchased a similar system. Well, exactly the same, everything. Antenna, notch filter, this, that, and he had a 10 that he was using for 35 megs anyway, that this module just goes into the back of. Now, he did the same thing, tested it on his HobbyKing X55. He then put it into his brand new First Star 2000 or the FPV Raptor, I think they're the same plane. They're the ones with the polycarbonate fuselage. And he flew it once, fine. Then went to put the FPV goggles on, and as he's flying around, it suddenly started looping at full throttle. Now, obviously, this means he had set the failsafe up wrong, which Nah, is a sort of different thing. Basically, he was used to either 35 megs, which you sort of program on the radio, or the spectrum way, which you put it in the right position when you bind, and then that's its failsafe position. He wasn't used to. He didn't know about the you bind it, and then once you got everything set up, everything in the right position, then just do that to set the failsafe. So it goes looping off down the field. And while mine obviously took off and basically sat directly in front of me on the landing strip, his was about 400 to 500 meters away, and that's not me exaggerating for legal reasons. That's literally how far away it was. So way within 35 megs or 2.4 range. And as I say, just went looping. Basically went straight into a rock, and the polycarbonate fuselage broke and sent shards of plastic digging into the battery. And let's just say we found that plane from the smoke signals it was sending out. So that was two models, completely different internal setups. I think even he had an FY21 and I had an FY41, different models, different servos, BECs, speed controls, motors, everything. The only thing that was the same is on the control end. And the transmitter was used previously, and I actually use that 10 now, and he uses his 10 on Easy UHF because he ended up getting that afterwards. So we use the same transmitter, and this is both me and my friend, both use the same transmitter as we did with these, the same antenna, and notch filters. We've got some slightly upgraded ones, but still, the notch filters did work fine afterwards. The only things that didn't work for us is the link between these two. And they were on a HobbyKing sale at one point for £2.50, which sort of shows you how cheaply they're making these things. What I'm going to do is I haven't actually got them up. Open LRS. Let's see how much they currently are on HobbyKing. Not found. That's probably a good thing. Have we got radios down the side? Yeah. Okay. So they've got one for Futaba radio, which is 100 milliwatt for £7.97, and then they've got the 433 100-watt for JR, so that's for your Tyrannuses and your 9XRs, for £25 currently. And then the receiver, I think that was about 15 quid. That 25 quid is about right. Orange RX receivers. Let's try this, see if it works. All receivers. 433. Yeah, okay, so it's $20 for a 9-channel receiver. Is this 9 channels? No, this is 8. Where have you got your 9 channels from? That is slightly different to the one I've got. I'll link these in the description, or I'll screenshot them. So if you have a look, mine just has that row of pins, that pin, and that pins. It has a second row of pins across there, which I can't actually see. I'll take the label off because I'm not going to be using these again. Is there some pins there, or does that mean it's a different board? Ah, no. You see, there are some holes already there. Let me get up OBS to make sure you can see. So there are some holes in the board already there. It's just on the new ones they have pins in, which would be nice if you could focus, but probably not. So yeah, as I say, it was just a cheap alternative, but I wouldn't use this. Now, to be fair to HobbyKing, I don't know about the LRS NG stuff, which is Bluetooth something or other, but honestly, I wouldn't trust this. The price of Easy UHF stuff has gone down. I mean, you paid about £50 or £60 for the module as opposed to, well, 7 or 25. And then you can get an 8-channel diversity, so that means it has 2 aerials on it, or the 8-channel light, or the 4-channel. They're all around the £50 mark. If you look at build your own drones, they're probably the cheapest place to get Easy UHF stuff from. If you buy the large transmitter pack as opposed to the JR module, you know, that just slides in like this, you do need to swap a pin around for Futaba, and I'll probably do a video on that at some point. So yes, this is most certainly. I've used 4 systems for FPV. I've used Futaba at 2.4, which is fine to a certain range. I've used Futaba at 35 megs, which was brilliant. It's just annoying having a giant aerial sticking out of both the radio and the plane. They get ripped off on low walls, for example. That was an issue we had a few times. I've used this, which is utter shite. That is the basic long and short of this review. These are shite, do not buy them. And the Easy UHF, which is brilliant and the one to go for. So yes, this is utter shite. As you can see, the aerials aren't on these because they're being used in planes and work fine. Because these come with crappy little rubber ducky aerials like you get on 5.8. They would be worse. These were properly tuned to 433 antennas, so it wasn't like I was using the crappy rubber duckies that come with it, because I imagine that would be even worse. But yes, and I can't say that I've got a dodgy set because, as I say, my friend about 2 weeks after I bought this, bought a set himself, and he had exactly the same issue of just lockout and fly away, sort of. Luckily his went into a loop, I suppose, instead of flying off. But anyway, yes, these are going in my metaphorical cement mixer because I don't have one. But yes, if I had a cement mixture, I would pour many, many litres of petrol on top of them and happily say goodbye. Utter shite, do not buy, dangerous, you could hit someone when your model goes doolally. So yes, my first full review, and it's definitely not a recommendation. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please click the like button, it helps me out a lot, something like that. Subscribe if you're new. As you can see, this is a relatively new channel. And leave a comment if you have any questions at all, or maybe yours is alright and me and my friend just got unlucky, but 2 out of 2 utter failures. Not good. Don't buy! Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.